like that.
Check into that and see.
Under new business, I have had several complaints and several concerns myself. I'm looking at this head of security here, and I have some concerns with the security at the high school. I've probably been there 4 or 5 times, never once been checked and going through the doors when I went there. Been there, had a meal, kind of roamed around, finally a guy after about 45 minutes told me that I should have a pass. I had some other concerns when I took a tour with one of the administrators there, and I'd like our administrators to look into the security, and I think we need to address some of the issues, and I'll be bringing someone to the head of security probably tonight here when I see Al afterwards. So.
As a follow-up to what you say, I've talked to some staff members at the high school, and they have told me that there's a panic button in their classroom, but that the bell rings in the office outside of the principal's office, and sometimes staff are not present there when this button goes off. I don't know if this is true, but I was told that I would like to make sure that wherever the alarm button does go off, that there is somebody present there that can get help for the teachers, because when they hit the panic button, I'm sure that they have a concern in their classroom, and I want to make sure that our teachers are protected if they or help comes. They don't have to wait 15 or 20 minutes because it could be a grave emergency that doesn't hit. I would like that checked out, and I understand that back in about 2001. We did have a report of our security system made, and we paid a company to do this. And I don't know if that report is still around. I don't know if the report is still there. I would like to see that report again and to look at it and see the recommendations that were made. Have we implemented all of them? Or do we still have some of the problems that were listed in that report? I think it'd be a good time for us to review that along with suggestions that's being made by Mr. Hahn, so that we can bring our security up to where it should be and to make sure that everybody feels comfortable in whatever school they happen to be, because I certainly, with everything that's going on throughout the country, I want to make sure our schools are as safe as they possibly can be.
We had an outside agency for a federal grant,
right,
and came in and did a security survey.
Yeah.
Dr. Ring, and I believe at that time, Rita Tate oversaw that. I think we have.
Okay, I'd like to see that report again, and let's review it and see what the recommendations were, and is there anything further? Yeah. You look into it and come back to the board with suggestions or recommendations or what have you that you think that we should be doing to make sure that we have good safety in all of our buildings. Is there any other?
I would like to ask the administration to, I'm not sure if the process for exiting students to the ELL program, if that is taking place or not, but I would like an objective third party to extend that, just to make sure that students are being exited as appropriate.
I actually have 3 things. First of all, I have to concur with Mark in regards to the security issue. We need to check that out. Even though I do have to commend their Saturday and excellent job, but we still have to look at all aspects of how we can improve it. In regards to the transition from Spanish to English, we need to review that, and again, we need to get an outside third-party person to review it and meet with the legal teachers to see as a group together on how we can do this and how we can get those kids transitioned into a monolingual class. And then I'd like to add that to the next meeting if possible. But then I also have one concern about concerned parents in regards to something that was addressed about a month and a half ago that I'd like to rehash, is the issue with the compound function. There's some issues that have been brought up that I'd like to address in closed session if possible, so we can see what's going on with that and how we can address that, because we want to avoid any possible litigation if we can to resolve this in a respectful manner. Thank you.
Just one question to follow up with somebody. When you guys say third party, you talking about a consultant or something? Oh. Who would
So
be
it
third
could be
party?
someone approved by Jim, just subject to third party. I would prefer an administrator, but someone who, in addition to the current administration member who sits in on these, and the ELL teachers who sit in, I would like somebody objective, maybe even close my committee as a program, but just an objective third party that's interested in, transitioning our students.
And I also want to state that, that the bilingual program is here to stay. Okay, we just want to make sure that our kids get the same opportunity to transition to monolingual class
As soon as possible.
as possible. And that's what we're looking at. We're always going to need the bilingual classes. We're always going to need.
Always. Don't say forever.
Well, if with due time, we'll know where we're at.
Well, I think we're giving back to these, a lot of things to work on. Right?
I'm ready to do it. I think that's what he said, we're coming in, we want to make a change, and that's what the people ask. We want to deliver.
Okay. And look at these things and report back to us. Okay, we have court time. We'll start with Mr. Anderson.
I attended some concerts, I attended some school fairs. What was really exciting was the program that we had over at the high school on Saturday morning for the terrorism drill. That was very, very enlightening. We've got some work to do, but it went off very nicely. I also was at the Fine Arts meeting on Saturday night over at the Bradbury Center, and we met with the president of the Illinois Arts Council. He invited us to submit or ask for a grant, and I'm sure Ms. Elliott will be writing the grant. We've got graduation coming up. What I'd just like to just briefly talk about is I think probably ought to be looking at the impact of the condominiums that are going up in downtown. It looks like they're really going to happen. There's some actual. From what I understand, the new Sun building isn't going to be TIP funded, and the Karcher Hotel is going to be TIP funded. What I was going to say is perhaps that money ought to be redirected back towards us if it's not going to be used for the funding of the actual improvements. And I also want to look at the impact, because I know some of the pre-sales over at Marquette, they've got kids. They're young professionals. They've got kids. So we're going to be getting kids out of those. I know that people are saying we aren't. So I think that's something to have a look at. We have to sit down with our city fathers to find out how many units they see coming in and how soon they see them coming in.
Perhaps, whoever is talking to people about purchasing those units, we should ask them to find out how many children are involved in their ages.
We can't hear you.
But I know, I'm pretty sure for the new Sun building, that's all private financing.
The taxing is stuck where it is. That's a tip.
But if they aren't going to use that money for the improvements in the district, perhaps it's time to start thinking about bringing some of that money back over to the school.